2, 1. What is up, you guys? It is episode 39 of the Sci-Fly Zone, and today's destination is going to be taking us back to Major League Baseball because, oh my gosh, I mean, we've been saying this for weeks now, but the playoff race is just getting more and more interesting, not just on the American League side, but on the National League side as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Things are getting very intense. We're coming down to the stretch. A lot of teams have 5 or 6 more games left. There is not much time to make many mistakes. And there are some really interesting teams in the mix. It's really exciting, dude.
Yeah, so today we're going to be focusing on particularly the Tigers and the Guardians because the Tigers for the entire season have been at the top of the AL Central, but oh my gosh, they have dropped off so hard. And coincidentally, the Guardians have caught on fire.
Yeah, man, it's been super exciting to see. There have been so many changes going on. Momentum shifts like seemingly every week. The Guardians are just picking up right where the Tigers dropped off. And I mean, it makes sense that you thought the Tigers were going to be the best team because at the All-Star break, they were the best team. Or July 8th, they had a 59-34 record, which was the best in all of baseball. And since then, they are 26-37, which is better than only 3 teams in all of baseball. The Rockies, the Twins, and the Angels.
Oh my God,
which is very bad company to be in. I say that while wearing an Angels hat.
No, literally.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, the Tigers just look like a completely different team right now. I don't know what happened, but like Tarek Skubal's still been doing great, but he's kind of the only pitcher that's really been performing well for them.
Yeah, and in this video, we'll be breaking down exactly what happened and how we got here. But really quick, before we get into that, we're just going to do a quick recap of what's going on in the National League. The Brewers have clinched their division since we've last talked about the National League. And also the Dodgers have clinched playoff contention, and the Padres have also clinched playoff contention. So now we have 2 divisions clinched and 3 other teams confirmed for the playoffs. So we only got 1 slot left, and it seems to be the Reds, the Mets, and the Diamondbacks all playing for that final spot. So next video, we'll definitely update you guys on what happens with that and see where we're at, because I'm sure things are going to change tremendously. But moving on to today's focus, the Guardians and the Tigers. So here's the deal. The Tigers are currently sitting at 85-71, and they are just 1 game ahead of the Cleveland Guardians. And the Tigers are 1-9 in their last 10 games. And from the start of August to today, they are 21-25 and are currently amid a 6-game losing streak. While comparatively, the Guardians are literally quite the opposite. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games and are 30-18 from the start of August to today, and are currently tied with Houston for the final spot in the AL Wildcard. Not to mention, just 2 series ago, they actually swept Detroit in 3 games.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Crazy place we're in.
They have been playing the best baseball when it matters the most right now. Like I mean, I mentioned the Tigers looking like a completely different team in the first half. The Guardians also look like a completely different team in the second half. I mean, at one point, the Guardians were 15.5 games behind the Tigers, like around the All-Star break, dude. And they were still like the second place team, I think. Like the Tigers were the best team in baseball, hands down, for a while. And if the Guardians managed to like pull off this comeback and somehow maybe take the division over the Tigers, that's going to be one of the biggest like deficits that we've seen any team come back from, like to win a division. It's been incredible, dude. I mean, and they've been carried by their pitching. Their pitching has been incredible for Cleveland, like in the second half. I mean, in the last 28 days, the Guardians pitching has a 2.65 ERA in 241 innings. And 237 strikeouts. That's like a Cy Young season for a guy. If you have like one pitcher doing that, that's like a Cy Young season, and the entire rotation is combining for that. So like, I mean, that's a huge reason why they're being so successful. Like even in the last 2 weeks, they have a 1.64 ERA in 126 innings. It's like Gavin Williams, he's been one of the best pitchers in the second half. I believe he's been the 3rd best qualified pitcher in the second half of baseball. He has like a 2.15 ERA in the last couple months. Like he's been incredible. And even despite having, like we talked about, the Guardians not having a super great or super heavy hitting lineup, they haven't really seemed to need it right now because the pitching is just not giving up runs.
Yeah, and to kind of go off your point about how the offense hasn't been, the greatest. In September, they are batting just 248, but they do have a 737 team OPS. So even though they're not like getting much successful contact, when they do make successful contact, it's a big impact.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it doesn't matter how good your team is on paper or how good your team has been performing for the last several months.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes teams just get hot and they go on a 10-game winning streak when everything is going right for
At
them.
the end of the season, it's
Yeah,
so
dude,
perfect.
literally. Like one of like the best time to be hot right now. Like this is I mean, it's got to be one of the longest winning streaks towards the end of a season or like in September. I don't have the direct stats about that like off the top of my head, but I mean, I would be shocked if there were many teams that had a 10-game winning streak in September. Like the Guardians
Don't you remember
knew.
when Cleveland actually did it? Like a few years ago, they went on like a 20-something win streak.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it was like 22 games or something.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
So it's
man.
it's just the Cleveland vibe.
Yeah, when they're playing well, they keep it going, and
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly what they've been doing this month.
Yeah, and keep in mind they're doing all of this with a -9 run differential.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean that
What's up with
just
that?
yeah that I mean that kind of goes with I guess them being like 15 games back at one point. Like they were halfway through the season, they were not a very competitive team. They were not a team that people thought were going to be in the playoff race or this close to a playoff race or even winning their division over the Tigers. Like, I mean, it's been incredible, man.
Yeah, dude. And I do want to ask the question: how does a team with a negative run differential even find itself this deep in a playoff run? You know, like how many times has it happened where a team has made the playoffs with a negative run differential?
Yeah, I mean, it can't be very frequent. It's got to be
It's
an
11.
extremely 11 times.
Yeah, 11 times
Wow.
in just Major League Baseball history. And to summarize those 11 playoff appearances, 3 wild card losses, 4 division series losses, 2 championship series losses, 1 World Series loss, and just 1 World Series win.
Wow. Only one team has ever won the World Series with a negative run differential.
Yep, and that was the Miracle 87 Twins,
Ooh.
who won the AL West that year.
Whoa. Minnesota is not in the West. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, neither is Texas. It's
Well,
whatever.
because the American League Central Division was not introduced until 1994.
Oh, wow. It was that late.
Yeah. Before that, it was just East and West.
Wow. Wow. That kind of explains it perfectly. Like what the Guardians are doing this year is something that almost never happens. Like
Yeah.
teams aren't supposed to be able to go on this much of a hot streak while like in their first half of the season performing the way that they were. I mean, even on September 5th, the Guardians were 11 games behind the Tigers. Like that's two and a half weeks ago. Like they were
That's crazy.
it's insane, dude. I don't know what's going on. It would by far be the largest deficit that any team has came back from in September to win the division. Like since that September 5th, when they were 11 games back, they've been 15-2, including that 10-game winning streak. So like they've been on fire, man.
Yeah, and this month they've only allowed 5 runs or more in a game 4 times out of the 20 games that they've played so far, which
wow,
nice.
That's
No, but that actually is a stat though. I didn't do that for the pun. It's only happened. They played 20 games. It's only happened 4 times.
That is very impressive. I mean,
yeah,
like when you have a team who's performing this well in the second half, and especially this close to the playoffs, like a lot of times it's going to translate into the playoff performances. So like,
yeah,
why would the Guardians slow down when the games start to matter even more? I mean, we've been seeing that the more the games matter, the better they've been performing. So like, once they get to the playoffs, I believe they're going to get to the playoffs. I think.
Yeah, I honestly think so too.
I feel like it's I don't think they're going to slow down, honestly.
No, and it seems like Houston is also slowing down.
Yeah, they are. They lost their last 3 games, which is a big reason why the Guardians have been able to come within that deficit of them. I think they even had a better record than the Tigers at one point. Like the Astros were one of the better teams in baseball as well.
Yeah.
And they've also been slowing down a lot. I mean, they're doing better than they were expected. They were expected to go 80-76 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Right now they're 84-72, so they're 4 games better than expected. But the Guardians are 7 games better than expected. They have 7 more wins than they were projected to have at this point in the season.
Yeah.
They've been just one of the best teams, if not the best team in baseball in September.
Yeah, they are probably the hottest team in baseball right now, at least in terms of teams that are playing for a playoff spot, because
right,
the Braves and the Marlins are currently on a 9-game win streak. They are also a hot team, but they're not playing for the playoff spot. But
yeah, it's a little late for the Braves to go on a 9-game win streak. Would have been nice maybe 4 months ago.
Yeah. That stat though that I pointed out, they've only allowed 5 runs or more in a game this month 4 times. Half of those games actually came against their series against Boston, who's probably going to be in the playoffs. So that's pretty notable.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they face off against each other at some point in the playoffs. And the Guardians pitching is going to need to be as good as it has been, because the Red Sox do have one of the best offenses in baseball. Like there's a reason that they are the second wildcard team. You know, they've scored 105 more runs than they've given up. Like they've been great, and it's going to be some really good pitching performances too. Like I'm looking forward to the pitching matchups. I want to see Gavin Williams and Garrett Crochet go up against each other. Like I think that could be a really fun series.
Yeah, for sure. And our last video regarding the American League Wildcard Series, I basically came to the conclusion, based on comparing a lot of the teams' hitting and pitching statistics throughout the year, that Boston has the best overall team out of all the American League teams going on right now. At least at the time when we were looking, they were the best overall team. So, it does make sense that out of everyone that they played this month, that they would probably give up the most runs to that team.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, the Red Sox have been a great team, especially in the second half. Honestly, since trading Devers, I feel like I keep saying that every time we talk about the Red Sox. They have gotten better since they got rid of Devers. I don't want to say he was like holding them back in a way or like holding them down, but I do think it's something worth noticing that he was probably the face of the Red Sox. I mean, I think he was like the last guy who was on that World Series winning team in 2018.
Yeah.
And they got rid of Betts, they got rid of Bogarts, they got rid of Devers now. So their core is kind of gone. Their main guys now are like, I mean, Bregman just got there, but he's going to be like a mainstay for them, hopefully, unless he opts out of his contract this offseason.
That would be crazy.
That would be pretty wild. That would be really interesting.
I think if they make at least the championship series or the World Series, he'll stay.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like with how well they've been playing, especially lately, like it would make sense if he wants to stay. I wouldn't like be surprised if he doesn't opt out of his contract. Yeah. But if he does opt out of his contract, it'll be really cool. Really interesting.
Although, like the Red Sox are doing pretty good this year. They're only 5 games out of having the best record behind Toronto. So like they are literally one of the best teams in all of baseball. So I wouldn't necessarily understand why he would want to opt out unless he thinks Boston would just give him more money anyway. Yeah,
that would probably be the only thing, if he's like confident enough in his performances this year to where he thinks he can like get more in the coming years, rather than compared to what his contract is currently. But I personally feel like he's probably going to be in Boston for a little bit. But if he does opt out of his contract, who's Detroit's third baseman?
It's McKinstry.
Yeah, I mean he's been great for the Tigers. He is a kind of a utility guy, so I guess he could kind of move around a bit. I mean, maybe we see Bregman in a Tigers uniform at some point, but if not, I feel like it's probably going to be with the Red Sox.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you on that. So the Tigers' schedule, very notable. Their final 6 games of the season are against Cleveland and against Boston.
Yeah.
They need to wake the F up.
Yeah.
They are ending the month on a 6-game loss streak, and they are going against 2 contending playoff teams, one of which is literally saying, we want to take first place from you and send you right off to the couch to watch the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's another thing is like one of these teams, the Guardians and the Tigers, whoever doesn't win the division might not even make the playoffs because the Astros are still there. They're still tied with the Guardians. Like, there's a lot of things that can happen in these next 6 days, and it's gonna be really exciting. The Tigers offense has really slowed down. They're gonna have to pick it up. They only traded for 1 hitter at the trade deadline as opposed to 6 pitchers, and that 1 hitter was playing at rookie ball, so he's not gonna be making a major impact for the team at the major league level for a couple years now.
No.
But something that I do think is interesting, you mentioned the Guardians and Tigers series about to start. Scooble's pitching today as of Tuesday.
Well, that's good. I'm glad he wasn't hurt for too long.
Yeah. He was, I think he might have missed 1 start, but he came back pretty quickly. It was luckily not as serious as some people assumed, which is good. I'm glad that he's healthy, but he has eviscerated the Guardians this year, and I mean it. He, in 3 starts this year, he has thrown 22 innings and he struck out 32 batters, and he has a 0.41 ERA, including a complete game shutout, a 13 strikeout complete game shutout. So, like, he has the Guardians have not been able to hit Tarik Skubal. I mean, no one's been able to hit Tarik Skubal. He's been one of the best pitchers in all of baseball this year. So he's going up against Gavin Williams, who, as I mentioned, has been one of the best qualified starters since like July. So that's going to be a really interesting game. Definitely something to pay attention to. But honestly, I feel like this series and these next 3 games might determine who's like going to win the division and who might not make the playoffs.
Yeah,
like,
I'm with.
I
yeah.
know.
No,
I know
for
we
real.
haven't.
No, like this is it.
Yeah, this is kind of
all. Everything's on the table.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it almost feels like a wild card or an American League Division series.
Dude, it really is. Like this is essentially an elimination series.
Yeah, honestly, these games are going to have a really big impact.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, I know we haven't, it's been a couple weeks, I feel like, since we've been like predicting series and stuff like that. But
yeah,
honestly, I think the Guardians are probably going to take at least 2 of these games. They're probably going to lose the Skubal game today. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost today, but I think they're probably going to win the next 2. And if they do, that would mean that the Tigers and Guardians are tied for first place.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think it's going to happen. I want it to happen.
Yeah.
Because
me too, bro.
Like, I know they don't do game 163 anymore, which is unfortunate, but I mean, that I want to see. Just let them play another game for the fun. I mean, it's gonna be this is a really big series, man.
Yeah, and also, let's just say hypothetically, because Boston's currently 1 game ahead. Like if they lose 1 or 2 games in their series, they're also going to be fighting for their lives against Detroit in that final series as well. So like everyone is literally playing for elimination.
Yeah, man, it's wild. We could have like 3 teams fighting for the last wildcard spot at some point, and I'm very curious to see how each team approaches their last games of the series, because they know how much the games matter, and that's probably going to be on their mind when they're playing. Like, these are going to be the most important games of their season. So like I'm curious to see who are the guys that are going to step up, who are going to be like breaking out and having a really good series, and who are the guys that are going to be slumping when the team needs them the most, because there's going to be, you can't have everybody on the team playing super great all at the same time. Everybody's going to struggle at some point in baseball. So we'll have to see. Maybe is that going to be one of the bigger guys like Jose Ramirez? Is he going to be struggling, that kind of not able to take the Guardians to where they want to be? Like, it's going to be I'm very curious to see what happens.
Yeah, dude. Also, guys, live reaction. MLB approves robot umps for 2026. MLB will implement a challenge system for balls and strikes in the 2026 season.
Let's go.
Let's go. Live
Thank
reaction.
God. Oh my God. Wow. That's super cool.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. There's really like no downside to it. You know what I mean? I mean, guys have been wanting it for a long time, and I'm really glad that it's going to be implemented. It's going
to hold people accountable.
Yep. Hopefully fix a lot of issues.
Yeah. But yeah, back to American League Baseball. So, one thing that I want to point out here, in the National League, 2 teams have already clinched their division and 3 other teams have clinched the playoffs. Only 1 team in the American League has clinched playoffs. Nobody has even clinched the division yet. So all cards are on the table again for the American League, like for bracket wise, like who's going to be the 1 seed, the 2 seed. It's all up in the air. Only the Blue Jays are confirmed to at least have a spot.
Yeah, man. There are so many different things that could happen in this next week, and it's going to be super exciting to see.
Yeah, and also if Cleveland does end up making the playoffs, then our brackets that we made halfway through the year are going to be completely messed up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm... yeah, I think I've given up on that bracket. I don't think I'm going to be correct there.
Man.
But, dude, if the Guardians and the Tigers both find a way to make the playoffs, if the Astros fall back and don't make it, the way that the bracket shapes up, it's probably going to be Cleveland and Detroit in the first round.
Which would be such a fun series to watch.
That would be super fun. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that just shows like how much this Cleveland-Detroit series that's going to happen right now really means. We talked about how it's like basically an elimination series, but it's also, if both of these teams make the playoffs, it won't be a very long time between starts. Like, yeah, maybe the first time they face Skubal, maybe if he throws today, he's going to go like 7 shutout innings and strikes out 9 batters. But they've seen him again. That'll be the 4th time they've seen him this year. And if they see him again, like within a short time span, that could be beneficial for the Guardians.
So yeah, I would say that wraps up today's episode. What would you say, CJ?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So if you made it this far, guys, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. We will be continuing to follow the Major League Baseball playoffs, updating you guys on what's happened, the specifics, all of that fun stuff. Next video, we will be breaking down some of the important series and games that happened in those series and the implications of those games, because they're important and we need to break them down. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like Marvel or DC stuff, we are going to be reviewing the next episode of Peacemaker that comes out on Thursday. So that video will probably be out on Saturday. So if you guys want to watch that, then stay tuned for that. We just love doing Marvel and DC stuff here as well, along with Major League Baseball. But if you have anything that you want us to talk about, leave it down in the comments and we'll be happy to talk about it. And please hit that like button, hit that sub button, and I hope you have a great day. See you in the next one. Later.